What's going on? What's happening, people? Can you tell me if you can hear me well, guys? This live is going to be really short. I've only got a short window to do this, so I need to give you the information as soon as possible. Mad love and respect for everyone passing through. What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto takes a bleed, yeah? Sad days. What can we say? The sound suits price action. Let's turn it up a little bit. Yeah, you can hear me. If you want the music, guys, go onto my Instagram and search for a guy in my friends list. Just go to search Poster Beats. That's it. Search Poster Beats. That's all you need to do. Poster Beats on Instagram. That's my guy. What's going on, guys? I hope everyone is doing well. I know it's a bit crazy right now in the marketplace, but I'm just going to do this live just to put things into perspective for you so that we can understand exactly what has happened and what is likely to happen next. Okay? So, let's roll with it. Let's have a conversation. Okay, then. So, guys, it has been quite eventful with Bitcoin, given the fact that this move, the final move to the downside, which is what we have been anticipating for quite some time now. Now, when I say we've been anticipating it, I put out a projection and this was the zone. Okay, so let me just pull that chart up for you. And I put this projection out to all the pattern watchers and there it is. Okay, we had projection zone 1 at 40,920. At around about that time, the orders stacked with Bitcoin was roughly around about 350 Bitcoin orders on the book map. Okay. Then at projection zone 2, in and around the 39 zone, we had also around 200 to 300 orders of Bitcoin in that range. Now, we are always going to be mindful of the wick. As you can see right there, ladies and gentlemen, the wick holds true. Okay. They always come back to the wick. Whenever there is a wick like this in the chart, it's an imbalance because this is where they triggered most of the interest at that point in time. Okay. And then we had Steve Zone. Now, when I say Steve Zone, I know it might sound like a bit of a joke, but, you know, you've got to have a good sense of humor because these sort of situations can be somewhat depressing. Okay. But Steve Zone is the absolute zone where we would expect them to try and reverse from. Okay. So now looking at the actual price action itself, Steve Zone was around about 37,000 and we came all the way down to 37,634. I'll take that. I'll take that projection. 2 projection points hit. But why was it that we were expecting lower movement? You see, the majority of YouTube, best way to put it, or across social media, were expecting Bitcoin to move higher. Everyone was applying, you know, the Wyckoff method. I had loads of people coming up to me saying to me, Tino, yo, man, this is the point where it bounces. And I said, you know what? I hope that is the case. Okay, but there are still elements in the chart that they have to come back towards. Pull up the 1 hour time frame and look at what was going on. The key 43 zone was the area that they just kept on pushing up above, but they just had no conviction. Look at the green vector candles. Okay. Now, I'm going to be doing a live later on tonight, and I'm going to be diving into understanding how to build shorts and longs when you are dealing with price action at certain points. I'll say it again, guys. They don't care about price. Our opinion of Bitcoin is irrelevant. And the sooner you get that in your minds, the easier you're going to find trading because you're not going to be receptive to emotional triggers such as big pushes to the upside, Bitcoin's mooning out. You're going to understand the behavior of price action in what we see in the charts today. Okay? So, now that we've had this move to the downside, we need to understand why did the move happen? Well, reduce the brightness on your screen, guys, because I'm about to bring up a chart which is pretty bright. This is why. In this area, right here, okay, where the wick of the candlestick was present, and of course all the previous zones in the chart right here, there was roughly around $3 billion worth of longs liquidations. Okay, 3 billion. So those are positions that traders have opened and put margins up in this area right here. Now, if you notice, this zone right here is pretty important, okay? Which I'm going to help you try and understand the nature of why this move happened. Now, of course, a lot of people are talking about the stock market. Remember, they don't care about the dynamics of things. They just need a reason to move price. Okay, that's what you really want to try and keep in your mind. Giving the market maker a reason to move price is critical, because then he can make it look like it's a chaotic thing across the board. Now, look at this image right here. This image is this zone right here. Okay, so I'm going to expand it out. Check this out. You can see each of these green dots is the market committing liquidity to the charts. It's funny, isn't it? Everyone goes long when price is rising, but the market maker goes short, and that's why price always ends up reversing and hitting the liquidation points. But what got my attention was the fact that these pools of liquidity right here, the market maker did not attack this range. All right? He didn't attack the range, which was a setup. It was a clue to say, hold on a second, how can you dismiss nearly $500 million worth of liquidations in this area here and keep price away from it? So if they could commit traders in this area here to add liquidity, that means the market maker was preparing for another move to the upside. And that's exactly what he did. He came to the upside and hit the shorts liquidation zones because they have not seen any liquidation points for the shorts or notable areas in the chart for quite some time. All right. So all these green dots, you can see little green dots right here. The market maker induced traders to go long. They hit the previous shorts liquidation points to release the liquidity so that the market maker can now start releasing his shorts and hitting the liquidation points for the longs to the downside. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what has happened in this chart. Remember, they don't care about what Bitcoin's price is. All they care about is people's impression of it. Yeah? People have this fixation on Bitcoin needs to break above this, Bitcoin's got to be this, Bitcoin's got to be this. To the market maker, they don't care. It's algorithms. As long as the liquidity is coming in and the market maker is giving people a reason to believe price is going to go higher, that means money is going to be put in the charts. As you can see, there's the standard play. 1, 2, 3 hits to the high, ladies and gentlemen. Price action completely annihilates the range. Okay? They came back and hit the wicks. And this bad boy right here. Now, what can we expect Bitcoin to do next? Well, we need to zoom out. We have only come back to the last point, and we're not even gone there yet. But we've made our way towards the last zone that they moved away from. Naturally, if you want to spark interest, you send it to the same place that they had the interest from in the first place. And that is in this zone, the 35 and the 33 zone, okay? Which will then lead me on to the book map itself to help us understand what are the chances of price coming into those ranges. Well, let's zoom out. Now you can see the liquidity. Look at that. All of that liquidity up here has been eaten alive. Now you've got 93 Bitcoin at 39,000 and you have 555 Bitcoin and above that 167 Bitcoin at the 30,000 zone. Now that would be consistent. All right. It would be consistent with price action coming down towards this area here. Now we need to look at the liquidation points of that area as well. We need to know, is there liquidity in that range? Because that's going to help us understand if they are likely to go into that direction. Whilst that's loading up, guys, listen, if you are new to the channel and you want to find out more, just make your way to the website. You can download the indicators free of charge. There's literally a walkthrough on how to do it, and make your way into the playlists in the channel, understanding the hybrid system, and you can learn each aspect of the system in there, but also make your way to the Discord as well. That's free of charge, so it doesn't cost you a penny. So to the visible chart, ladies and gentlemen, you can see, look at all that money they've been hitting, man. There was a much bigger bias to shorts liquidation points, okay? Then there were, shorts liquidation points than there were longs, okay? There's more people that are short in Bitcoin right now. Look at these red dots right here, guys. People are going short right now. Okay? Well, we understand what's just happened. They made their way towards the longs. Now the shorts are in the chart. Just look at this. This implies the potential liquidation points for the shorts. That is nuts. Look on the chart itself. What do we see? We see vector candles. Look at all these red zones. These are zones of liquidity that the market maker can come back to. Now, if we look at the cycle itself, where are we? Simple. M formation, drop level 1, drop level 2, drop level 3, peak formation. This is what we're waiting for now. Is this the zone that they decide to make the W from? Because principally, we are waiting for the development of a W formation. That's what we're waiting for. Is this the first leg? Because if we're going to see a W formation, guys, price action is going to come from down here and it's going to try and find its feet until it hits a point where it will look to try and retrace back up. All right? Then we would see another movement back down and then potentially a move higher. Now, in the past, Bitcoin has done this behavior where it's dropped to the downside and instantaneously shifted back up. So just keep an eye out on this range. The 35 and the 40 range is going to be very interesting over the next few days. Okay? Now we need to have a look at the S&P 500. All right? The S&P 500 is notorious for doing these drops, but it's also notorious for bringing things back up. There's the speculation on the inflation rate. And if you look at the treasury yields itself, the 10-year yields, you've got yourself, everyone's making a run towards the yields, okay? Because it's a much safer play. If you look at gold, you'll see gold is rising up because investors are feeling scared. But gold's only coming back to the previous pools of liquidity that they had marked price down from, okay? Looking at dollar yen's taking a bleed to the downside. Potentially try and find some support in and around the 800 EMA at 12,500. So everything across the board is just dropped, all right? Looking at altcoins, all right, there's not been that many altcoins that have held well based on the list that we've got here, all right? Algo seems to be holding pretty well. It's coming back up for the day's session, but everything seems to have taken a bleed to the downside, man. It literally looks like a bit of a reset, but a lot of altcoins are still staying within their peak formation, so that's really important. And for you to really understand that, we need to go to the totals chart and have a look at where we are. See, look, we've come straight back up into the wick. All right. So this could be another pattern formation on the total market cap. Could this pattern hold out in the altcoins? Okay. So that's something to be in mind, be mindful of, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, then. In my opinion, guys, there are too many people going short right now. Look at all these red dots. These are people going short. That means they are committing liquidity to the upside. In other words, there are liquidation points for the market maker to come back and attack. At the same time, there's still a lot more longs to the downside. But the delta is saying there are more shorts than there are longs. In other words, the liquidations for shorts are higher than what the long liquidations are. The question is the market maker now going to give the retail trader a chance to see a profit on his shorts, or is he going to hold this range and shift price back up towards the upside? What are we waiting for? Retrace to the 50 EMA. That's all we're waiting for, and that's on the 4-hour time frame. Okay? Are you guys happy with that? So sorry that I couldn't come on earlier on. Okay? Forgive me on that. I've been busy with my daughter today, so I couldn't get on at the times when this was happening. But if you go back, ladies and gentlemen, and look at the previous streams, take the last few days, man, we've been projecting these movements to happen for quite some time. When everyone was hyped up about this move to the upside, sent this out to the guys in the masterclass sessions and the Patreon, projection zone 1, 2, and 3, the game played out. My goal is to try and get you to understand that they don't care about price. All they want is the money, because it's there for them to take, because people are impressionable. They see a green candle and they think Bitcoin to the upside. They see a candle. I mean, I saw something someone said about the weekly chart or the daily chart, whatever it was. And they were talking about, I think it was on Twitter, I think it was. They were talking about that the weekly chart was like looking very promising because it was trading positive for the week and the week wasn't over. That's why you've got to really focus on closes. It's always about the close. Okay? Now, when you look at the weekly chart, it doesn't look that daunting, to be honest with you. It's only coming back down to the previous pool of liquidity. You see, when you look at the 1 hour time frame and you see a candle come back to a previous vector candle, you see the red vector candle take back the green vectors right there, you're cool with it. You look on the weekly chart, you should also be cool with it as well. Because that's the way the business moves. Okay? Mad love and respect to all you guys, man. I hope that puts things into perspective for you. But, you know, it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things. Okay? Now, listen, I know it's going to be a short video, guys, but if we're going to move forward and see where Bitcoin's likely to end up next, okay? Looking on the date, on the 1 hour time frame, you can see we've got a clean deviation away from the 50 EMA. Please, please, I've said it in the last videos. I've said it in videos non-stop. Since the 6th of... go back and watch the streams from the 8th of January. I keep saying it. Do not bottom fish just yet. Do not do it. Okay? If you're trying to catch bottoms, there still may be more movement to the downside. Okay? Naturally, we are expecting a bit of a retrace because this move is an aggressive move to the downside. They need to bring it back into the fray. Okay? But be careful when you're bottom fishing, guys, because you'll see a nice little movement up and then they do this movement to the downside. You see a nice movement up and then they drop it again to the downside. Okay? They know people are trying to catch a bottom. That's why this bad boy happened right here. Because people were putting their money in the charts and they were allowing the market maker to just make a run for it. I'm not going to give you no false hopes here, guys. I'm going to give it to you straight as it is. I will always try and look for where the money's at by understanding the way price action is moving. There's no moonshots here. There's no hype to 100K. I'm just talking ranges and movement. I'm not interested in Bitcoin's prediction of 100K, 53. I don't care. All I care about is if I get in at one point, am I going to get out at a higher point in profit? Or am I going to get in at a lower point and get out at a lower point in profit again? That's all it is for me, guys. And that's all you really need to be making the decision on. Okay? Also, for my guys who are holders, okay? Bitcoin's cheaper. As holders, you are looking for the bigger picture. You are of the mindset that Bitcoin is going to keep moving higher because you're the enthusiast. You are in the adoptive stages right now of crypto. This is why we're seeing this sort of price action. People are excited. The hope, the hope, the hope. That's not what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Wait for the retrace. The retrace is going to tell us if they're going to continue back down again. Because there are a lot of shorts in this zone right now that are leaving their margins available for the market to come back to. If Bitcoin can come back up towards this zone right here, this is where we will know where we stand. Once it retraces away from that point, we are ideally looking for it to try and come away from the zone. All right? It may take a few days for this to actually play out. Bitcoin can even bounce away from this point right here. And then, of course, it can look to try and make its way back down and form a much higher low. And then happy days to the upside. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, forgive me. I do have to go. All right? But I want to thank everyone that's been with me and that has been applying the hybrid system because this isn't about glory here, guys. I'm interested in making sure that you guys understand it because this game is about hunting for liquidity. These are people's money. All right? This is money, guys. That's all they care about. What are we trading for? Now, for the retail trader like ourselves, we have to understand their intention so that we can get that bit of money as well and not give it to the market maker. You know? So listen, it's the weekend. If you've been liquidated, wrecked, whatever terminology that they use, ladies and gentlemen, take some time out. Guess what? The market will be there tomorrow. You know? Mad love and respect to all you people. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so that you can catch up with tonight's live. All right? Take care of yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. I've got nothing but love for you. Peace.